In this video, we're going to talk about a shoe that ASICS claims is a bouncy trainer that helps provide energy return. In this video, we're going to talk about the ASICS Novablast 5. Hey runners, and welcome to my channel. My name is Letty and I'm absolutely obsessed with running, hence this channel here, and also the Marathon Running Podcast. If you haven't listened yet, this channel is mainly visual stuff, training shoe reviews, running vlogs, elite interviews, all that stuff. I'm super into it, so feel free to check out my other videos after you watch this one, because this is why you're here. Today, we're going to talk about the ASICS Novablast 5. But before we do that, here is a disclaimer. This shoe has been provided to me for the purpose of review. However, no one is paying me for this review, and all opinions expressed here are my own. All right, so with the disclaimer out of the way, now let's talk about the model and purpose of the shoe. So this shoe has been created as a daily trainer, recovery shoe, easy run shoe with max cushioning, but it also has a little bit of a responsiveness to it. But we're going to hop into that later. Let's go straight to the tech specs. As for the tech specs, you can find those on the ASICS website for this particular shoe. If you scroll down, you can see that this shoe has a drop of 8 millimeters. It weighs 225 grams, which is 7.9 ounces. For my own shoe, I've measured it because I always do, and it comes in at 7.85 ounces, which is 223 grams, so pretty close. So I guess, you know, they do use the women's 8.5 for that measurement. When it comes to stability of the shoe is listed as neutral, and when it comes to the cushiness on the shoe is high. When it comes to the price point of the shoe is listed as $140, and they have a variety of colors for both men and women. So as for women, the shoe comes in black carrier gray, white Piedmont gray, pure aqua seal gray, breeze white, grayish purple coral reef, midnight breeze, wave teal black, white coral reef, and mineral beige top gray. As for the men's colors, the shoe is also available in 15 colors. This shoe has a ton of colors, which makes the options even better. Now, when it comes to the key features of this shoe is made out of the jacquard mesh, which is a double layer fabric that is just a tiny little bit stretchy, but very, very breathable. As you can see, the tongue is gusseted a little bit, not all the way to the top, but just enough to where it really stays in place. And I have a whole appreciation for this very soft tongue because it's not super plush, but it feels just soft enough. You see this little area here between the laces also help for the tongue to not slip as much as other shoes, for example. The collar of the shoe is nicely cushioned with a heel tab that helps you put the shoe on just to stay in place. Now, the cushioning of this heel tab is just high enough that it really cups your heel, but it doesn't go on your heel. So it's not riding on your heel, which locks your foot in very nicely. Recently, I've had a lot of experience with shoes that have this heel color and the cushioning too low to where your ride isn't as smooth. So that's that. The laces, I haven't had any problems with. Normally, I do have problems with laces because they always come apart. These are very soft and they stay in place when you tie them, so there's no issue with that. So that is it for the upper. When it comes to the foam of the shoe, for this particular shoe, ASICS decided to use FF Blast Max, which gives it that max cushion. According to their website and to ASICS representatives I've talked to, this is a lighter and more bouncy foam than the predecessors. I do not own the predecessors. I don't have the Novablast 4, so I cannot compare it to. But I believe them because this is quite light for what you're getting. You're getting a cushion that is equivalent to some of the cloud-like shoes, Hoka shoes, for example. So that worked out really well for ASICS. Now, when it comes to the outsole, they have a rubber on them, and it's a very durable rubber. I've actually, and I'm going to tell you about it later, used the shoe quite a bit in the last month, like a ton, for all activities, not just running, also walking, because of the versatility of the shoe. And you can barely see anywhere. And normally, this area right here is the area that is first worn out of my shoe, and I can barely see a dent on that. So that is really, really cool. It's designed to be trampoline-like, which that's gonna help the responsiveness or the bounce back of the shoe. Again, I don't own the Novablast 4, so I can't really compare it. I don't think there's much of a difference when it comes to the outsole, but this is an interesting outsole that I haven't seen before, and I do love that they went all the way to the side with the rubber because this is the first area that wears off, like I said, and I usually trample around on the foam of shoes, which I don't love. But here we go. Very durable for that reason. Now, when it comes to first impressions, I am always very much persuaded by colors and looks of a shoe. This shoe, no different, right? I love that ASICS decided to send me this color scheme of the shoe because it's an off-white looking color. So that means I can wear it to multiple events, and I could consider wearing it as a walking shoe on trips where I didn't want to pack luggage, which is exactly what I did. I also like the foam look and the little indentations in that design. It looks very sharp. It is a very high shoe, but I feel like because of the little detail that you see on here, it doesn't feel too high, and it is very comfortable. So my first impression was very pleasant. I was happy to try the shoe out on easy runs at first, and then on a whole 2-week vacation / work trip. And I will tell you all about that, but let's see what the shoe looks like when I actually wear it. Now that you saw me run in the shoe, and you know that I wore the shoe on my trip to both the Boston Marathon and the London Marathon, I'm going to tell you all about this shoe. This shoe is a very, very versatile shoe. I wore it for all of my walks and all of my runs except for race day in London, and I was very happy with it. And that I think goes a long way because I have tons of shoes that I wear for aesthetics, but I would never run in them. Almost like as if you're a woman, you're not going to just start running without a sports bra on. Same with running shoes. You're not just going to suddenly start running in random shoes that you're wearing. But with this, you can definitely do that. So I ran all of my shakeout runs and all of my easy runs in these shoes, but I also ran some faster runs where I was kind of conned into running quicker, and I was wearing these shoes, and the response was not bad at all. And I think it is a shoe that is a great trainer, but it's not too heavy to make it also into something that is hybrid, where you got to pick up the pace a little bit. You can definitely do that in a shoe. It has a very gentle rocker, so it's not very aggressive. Again, hybrids into a nice walking shoe. It is very stable, and it is aesthetically pleasant. So that is that. Now, comparing the shoe to other shoes, I am thinking that there are a whole bunch of Hoka shoes that I want to compare it to. The Bondi, for example, except for I feel like, and I have to verify this, I feel like this is a little bit maybe lighter than the Bondi, but just as versatile, just as cushy, if not maybe a little bit softer. I feel like this shoe comes in at a very great price point, and I think that's a big thing nowadays with the economy going a little bit crazy. $140 for a trainer that is super versatile, that is not just for beginners, but also for experienced runners that want to do their easy runs or tempo runs even in this shoe. I think this shoe is very versatile and comes in at a great price point, and it seems to be, again, very durable. I mean, obviously the shoe is dirty at the bottom, but I can't see any wear or tear off of this shoe. And I ran a ton and I walked a ton in this shoe. So that is a huge plus. So that is my opinion as of right now. I'll probably have put about 100 miles on this shoe. But I mean, I guess I can do an update in a year to see, or when the new one comes out, how this shoe held up. But I'm very pleasantly surprised with this shoe. So who is this shoe for? I think this shoe is for anyone that has a shoe rotation, that already has a racing shoe, that already has a tempo shoe, and is looking for that third shoe for the longer miles, easier miles, but / also pick up paces. Like the shoe you can wear for your easy runs, and you can do strides at the end of it. I also think the shoe is good for people that don't want to just wear it for running, but are spending time on their feet. I spent a lot of time on my feet during those weeks while I was traveling, and I didn't have a lot of foot fatigue. My foot felt fresh, and I think that goes to show that the shoe is also a great walking shoe. So very versatile, highly recommendable shoe, I think. And Like I said, there are tons of colors available, so you can wear it as a shoe that blends in with your wardrobe, or you can pick a color pattern that sticks out a little bit more and make it a little bit more fun if that's what you desire to do. So that is it for my review of the Novablast 5. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are looking for more shoe reviews, I'm going to have a ton more dropping within the next couple of months. And if you're looking for other running content, make sure you check out everything else, including my podcast, which is audio, but now also on YouTube. So thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, have a great week of running.